stays down into defensive mode, and Boss cannot squeeze through.
So we continue to watch that fight. Hotchkiss trying to hang on and currently protecting that position. Jerry Nadeau has the lead. Meanwhile, Andy Boss runs second. Diego Guzman is third. Juan Pablo Montoya has moved up to take the fourth spot. Luis Zervigon is now fifth. Hotchkiss is sixth. We see him slide by. And the other Boss running seventh.
And right behind them is Davina Yulitsa, who did such a superb job to qualify seventh. She is 50 years of age, and you'd never know it by the way she looks and by the way she performs.
We'll be back with more racing on the 1 mile oval at New Hampshire International Speedway right after we take this break. Today's Barber SAAB Pro Series action from New Hampshire International Speedway is being brought to you by Zerex Antifreeze Coolant. The temperature never drops below Zerex. And by T-Plus engine treatment with DuPont Teflon. Just 1 quart, 1 time for 50,000 miles.
The temperature never drops below Zerex. That's very important to remember at a time like this, when your car has been sitting idle, when it's very dark, and very deserted, and very cold. Thank heavens you did remember Zerex Antifreeze. And now, for even more peace of mind, there's Zerex Extreme 450. Antifreeze protection that's guaranteed for 4 long years or 50,000 miles. The temperature never drops below Zerex.
T-Plus, the engine treatment with DuPont Teflon, protects the heart and soul of your car. The engine. Without T-Plus, your engine faces a daily grind of dry start, stop-and-go driving, freezing winds, and scorching heat. It's inhuman. But add T-Plus 1 time and your engine becomes a smooth-running all-weather power machine protected for up to 50,000 miles. So, beat the daily grind, add T-Plus. The T is for Teflon.
This may take a little getting used to. The sky, the wind, the air. Not a shred of guilt for miles. The new SAAB 900. More sensible than a convertible has a right to be.
When sports cream? When arms are sore. When legs ache. When muscles hurt. Why sports cream? Massaging sports cream in brings fast pain relief. No medicine-y smell. No odor. Why sports cream? Because it works.
When do you use Thompson's?
Every year since 1981. Every fall for 5 years.
Without Thompson's, water invisibly weakens surfaces. Suddenly you've got damage.
10 years.
And we never replaced a single board.
Thompson's Water Seal Waterproofer, the seal of success.
For 6th place continues at New Hampshire International Speedway, and making the challenge in that blue and yellow car is Jeff Boss. But again, Mark Hotchkiss from Southern California in the blue number 5 hanging on to the 6th spot. This is the best battle on the racetrack at the moment as Jerry Nadeau continues to lead. Now we've got yellow displayed. We have a problem on the racetrack and a car. That is Mark Shaw from Aberdeen, Scotland, sliding down below the yellow line and coming to a stop. We don't know if there was contact. The car appears to be rolling cleanly, but a yellow has come out, and Nadeau's early lead has now been wiped out.
Hasn't had a great weekend, qualified down in 17th place. He is from Scotland, hence the color scheme denoting the Scottish flag. Look at that left wheel, but he lost it into turn 1, and the right rear suspension is already broken, so we don't know whether there was contact to break that right rear suspension. But you can see when it lies down on the right rear, it picks up the left front.
In today's NGK Hot Tip, we had an opportunity to ask drivers what it's like to be competing for their first and only time on an oval in this '94 season.
It takes going deep and getting on the gas and coming out quick. I don't think bravery has much to do with it. Either the car will do it or it won't. It's very quick, and you really have to keep your momentum up.
You've really got to carry a lot of speed into the corners.
So a disappointing early out for Mark Shaw, who has now moved into the paddock area, and the field gets ready for green as they bunch up behind the pace car on the back straightaway. Nadeau in the #1 spot, followed by Andy Boss. Third is Diego Guzman. In fourth place, Juan Pablo Montoya. So all the principals in the championship points battle are right up front. The experience factor, however, favors Nadeau. And look at him jump on the throttle, anticipating the green as they come to the front straightaway.
And that's what you need to do on these restarts. Just what you saw driver Jerry Nadeau do. Get a jump, 5 or 6 or even more. 10 car lengths lead over the second place man, but Nadeau needs the money for a win here. One win is all he's had. He was a big scholarship winner for Skip Barber last year, raced on their budget last year. Now he's got to find his own. So the prize money, which is $7,000 if you win, $10,000 if you win, will go a long way towards keeping Jerry Nadeau in racing.
Only minimal changes could be made to these cars as they set them up after a 10-minute warm-up session this morning. You can adjust wing angles and shock settings. You've, of course, got the anti-roll bars in the cockpit. You can work on the tire pressure and the brake bias. But basically, when you're out here in this situation right now, if you don't have the setup just right in identically prepared cars, it's going to be a long afternoon.
That's the key, a driver series. This, in fact, is a primary feeder series for the Indy Lights. So these drivers here want to make their way up the path just like Brian Herta did in 1991. In fact, the past 3 or the past 4 Barber SAAB champions have all come from overseas. Look at their fight here. Jeff Boss and Hotchkiss. He makes it stick. Finally he finds a way by.
Hotchkiss has been consistently running that higher line, and that time he finally gave way. Your leader, Jerry Nadeau, meanwhile, averaging better than 121 miles per hour on this 1-mile oval. And he has opened up again. Some more breathing room as he has dominated this race. Andy Boss running second, Diego Guzman third, Juan Pablo Montoya is fourth. Montoya, a 2-time winner this year, on the left-hand side of the screen, chasing Guzman. And remember, 1 championship point separating these two in this now, the 9th race of a 12-race season.
With all those unfamiliar names, it gives you an idea just how international the Barber SAAB series has become. Remember, you can rent one of these cars for $7,000. You can win more than it costs you to rent it. That is the key stair-step situation that a lot of young drivers find themselves in. Jeff Boss again. Next man on his list is Zervigon, and he's trying the same line as he managed to squeeze past Hotchkiss with. But it is so difficult on these ovals when the high line sometimes is faster.
The best finish this year for Jeff Boss was a 3rd-place finish at Lime Rock. And right now, he's trying to work his way back up after a disappointing start. Remember, he started alongside his brother in the 2nd row, but fell back. Now he makes the move on Luis Zervigon, side by side.
Oh, side by side, almost feeds him a wheel. They have to separate just for a fraction of a second. But Jeff Boss is on his way at the moment. Ran second at Laguna, almost got a good finish, and then fell back on the last lap, finished 5th. But he has yet to win one of these Barber SAAB races.
So a good move by Jeff Boss. Let's go back and take a look at just how close those open wheels came to making contact as he pulled off the pass of Luis Zervigon.
And you have to force the issue. Zervigon drives defensively. Boss still comes down. Look at this. Turns back out, says, I have the inside line. I'm the boss of Zervigon. Thankfully agreed.
You could see how quickly these cars respond in that situation. So the man on the move is Jeff Boss, but the man in front continues to be Jerry Nadeau. Back with more in a moment.
This is a beautiful area. Unfortunately, even here, injury-causing collisions occur far too often, resulting in loss of income, mobility, and freedom. When you're injured, you're not only hurt, but also anxious to get back to work and back to a normal routine. There's just no time to waste. Hi, I'm Jim Ledford. We understand your needs and how to move your case to completion. Call. We want to help.
Let's go. To avoid salesmen, some people shop after car dealers are closed.
Did you hear that?
Or so they thought.
That's my sale. Customers on the lot. Customers on the lot.
At Halifax Ford Mercury, pick up a just-looking button. When you're ready, our friendly salespeople can help you choose from 10 new 95 Ford Windstars with air conditioning and more. There are car dealers, and there's Halifax Ford Mercury, US 1, New Smyrna Beach.
It takes two networks to drive home a point. ESPN puts you in the best seat of the track.
ESPN2 puts you in the driver's seat.
Dual performance.
Reliability and speed.
Remote control, cruise control.
All the options.
Bosch Sparkplug Grand Prix. One great race.
Two incredible points of view.
Tomorrow afternoon at 1 Eastern on ESPN.
And ESPN2.
Back at New Hampshire, pressure being placed on the fourth-place driver, Juan Pablo Montoya, from Jeff Boss. Boss, who had struggled in the early laps, now mounting a charge to get to the top 5 and certainly challenging for the 4th position. Right under the rear wing, takes the look to the inside. Remember, Montoya has no oval track experience. This is his first time on one of these racetracks. He's got his hands full right now, Derek.
He does, and Boss is the one that has made more passes than anybody, and he's made them all in the same place. On the run down the front straight into turn 1, he feels his car is good there, but he's way too far behind here to make an attack.
So for the moment, Juan Pablo Montoya has stabilized in the number 4 position, driving that colorful number 58 car, a two-time winner of the most recent race a week ago at Mid-Ohio.
Montoya is considered by everybody to just have tremendous car control. Did manage to win in Miami. Definitely a potential championship winner. Started in go-karts, as you can imagine, as most of the South Americans do. And then went to Sears Point, did a school, won his very first race, and now thinks he'd like to be an IndyCar driver. Very, very good car control from Montoya.
He's holding on to about a 3 or 4 car length advantage as again Boss makes the challenge. Up front, meanwhile, no problem for Jerry Nadeau. He continues to set the pace, hoping to make it 2 consecutive years in the victory in the only oval track test on the SAAB Pro Series. Here comes the run again by Boss in car number 16, but once again, Montoya holding that line nicely. Up front, Jerry Nadeau continues to set the pace, and he has opened up now close to a 3-second advantage. He has already encountered a couple of cars in lap traffic. It has not been a problem whatsoever. You see him closing now on Mark Baker, a driver out of Fort Worth, Texas. And now we'll look back to the separation, looking for and finding the green car driven by Andy Boss. So Boss having a hard time trying to meet the pace in second place. Nadeau very much in command.
And Andy Boss benefiting from $100,000 that he won by being the winner of the Big Scholarship Award run by Skip Barber over the wintertime for his best Formula Ford drivers. And then the winner gets a paid season of Barber SAAB racing. So Andy Boss doing a good job, yet to win, but he is fast, backed by Cross Pens, who incidentally is a family-owned business.
6 times this year he has been in the top 5. His best finish was on the streets of Miami in the season opener when he was in second place. He is in a favorable position right now, Derek, because remember, Nadeau missed a race, and so even though Nadeau has the lead, Boss is leading the championship contenders right now, and so that must be a comforting feeling, even though he's frustrated that he can't close on Jerry Nadeau. Juan Pablo Montoya passing through Jeff Morton, the number 6 car, putting him a lap down.
And you can see that Jeff Boss has lost out on the last 2 or 3 laps because he was chasing and right behind Montoya. And now he's got 3 or 4 laps worth of work if Montoya doesn't make a mistake. That's the key here. The speeds are high, the concrete walls are unforgiving. The driver has to be so disciplined to run on the ragged edge, but not too much that you get yourself into trouble, because you can't afford to back off at all.
So no change among the top 5. Nadeau continues to be the leader. Andy Boss second. Diego Guzman is a solid third. We've been watching Montoya and Jeff Boss in a fight for 4th place, although Montoya now has the comfort of about 8 car length advantage.
5Gs hurts. When the car fires up, it's power. It's talking to me. All I hear is music. Then you hit the throttle. It pulls your head back and it wants to rip it off. It's you, the competition, and everything has to be just right.
Pure oil now.
Man, from that time on, all you can think about is winning. Man, that's a ride.
Debbie, these shots are fabulous. Beautiful, Debbie.
Better than the last time, Tony?
Absolutely. It's my job to make sure people look good. A few weeks ago, while doing test shots with Debbie, I noticed something. Dandruff. So I told her about Head & Shoulders. You see, regular shampoos merely rinse flakes away, so they could come back. But look, Head & Shoulders help stop flakes from even forming. See the difference? Yeah, picture perfect. Head & Shoulders turns dandruff problems into beautiful hair.
Boxers aren't born. They're made. Clifford Hicks, Rick Spain, Jake the Snake Rodriguez, Calvin Grove, Pete Taliaferro, Jesse Ferguson, Al Ice Cold. When they were ready, they all fought on Top Rank Boxing. See who's ready now. Top Rank Boxing on ESPN.
Along with Derek Daly, I'm Gary Gerald. We're watching Jerry Nadeau continue to dominate this event here at New Hampshire over Andy Boss, Diego Guzman, Juan Pablo Montoya, and Jeff Boss. Luis Zervigon, Mark Hotchkiss, Davina Galitza, Will Pace, Tom Cormack completing the top 10. But we have seen a change just in the last few moments back in the pack as Cormack has now moved by Jackie Schechter. This had been a spirited battle at mid-pack. Schechter in that bright orange number 20 being chased here by J.C. Carbonell, T, number 39.
And it is still quite a battle. Carbonell T is trying to catch Schechter. There's Tom Cormack, spent a lot of time behind Schechter. Yes, the name Schechter, remember that from Formula One. Jody is his uncle. Ian, Jody's brother, is his dad. And Carbonell T comes down the inside at one and tries to force the issue.
Some of the best open-wheel side-by-side racing we've seen thus far in this event, but unfortunately for young Jackie Schechter, he has lost now 2 positions as first Cormack, and now Carbonell T got by, and here comes Barry Waddell. And Barry Waddell taking a look inside, and a little wiggle there as he had to get on the brakes. Being cut down and holding the line was Schechter.
Barry Waddell, one of the most experienced drivers out here. He is an instructor for the Skip Barber School and continues his racing career. He ducks down the inside Schechter. Not enough, can't make it.
Jackie Schechter, only 18 years of age, from South Africa, the nephew of Jody, getting a wealth of experience here as he battles to protect a spot in the top 10. It has been tough going. He is currently 11th, however, after Carbonell T got by him. Meanwhile, back up front, car number 16, driven by Jeff Boss, has managed to move by Juan Pablo Montoya. So it looks like Jeff Boss has worked his way back now to the 4th position. That's where he started this race in the starting grid in the 2nd row, slipped back to 7th, and has now picked his way back into the top 4.
And we mentioned earlier, you have to be so disciplined and have patience here on oval tracks. They seem a long way away, but you inch closer each time you don't make a mistake. And Jeff Boss has shown that type of discipline here and eventually claws his way by Montoya. I bet he resents whatever happened on those opening laps because he lost so much time and moved way back in the field from that 2nd row starting position.
And it has taken him so much time to gain those positions back. It's a costly pass as far as Montoya is concerned. The youngster from Colombia only 1 point behind his countryman Guzman coming in. Guzman continues to run solidly in 3rd place. So every position here critical in the stretch run of this championship season, keeping in mind that $100,000 career enhancement award that goes to the overall winner. That's a lap car, number 21, Steve Sardelli, now directly in front of Jeff Boss in number 16. That may enable Montoya to get a run on him once again.
You can hear the tires squeal through the corners sometimes as these cars slip and slide. They don't have a lot of downforce, which is very good for driver training. They have 220 horsepower from the SAAB stock 900 series engines. They rev to 6,000 revs, and he gets the motion to move aside down the inside. The lap car moves away, knows that the leaders need to have a clear road to continue their fight with so few laps left.
All of the motors in this series by the hard-working Barbershop crew dynoed to equalize horsepower to within 1 1/2% window. That is a monumental task in itself, but it really puts the emphasis on driving skills.
You mentioned earlier the front wings, and Jerry Nadeau right here. You're only allowed to take a certain amount of rear wing off these cars. That's for a safety factor. See the turbocharger belch out some flame there. Jerry Nadeau is one of the only drivers ever to come to the Skip Barber organizers and say, please let me take more wing off. He's that brave.
Well, he has got the lead right now in this event, and he's going to be looking for a white flag as he comes toward the front straightaway this time by. The indication of 1 lap to go, and now closing within just 1 mile of back-to-back victories on the oval. But there is traffic around him. Now, keep in mind, he missed 1 race this season, so he is not a player among the top championship contenders. But the battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th will be critical. Nadeau surrounded by traffic now, working his way down the backstretch. Less than a half lap to go. Looks like he's about clear, Derek.
And for his career to continue, he needed the prize money here. He missed the last race at Mid-Ohio. The prize money here will allow his career in Barber Saab racing to continue.
Takes a look on the inside of Jeff Willoughby, putting him a lap down. The checkers fly, and Jerry Nadeau has done it again. Last year, he won by 8 seconds. This year, a tighter battle, but a comfortable victory. Andy Moss finishes in the 2nd spot. Juan Pablo Montoya, unable to advance past the 5th position. We'll check the final standings, and we'll hear from the winner in just a moment.
Peerless Faucet didn't come up with the idea for a spout long and high enough to reach over and into large objects. We merely adapted it for the kitchen. High-rise faucet designs by Peerless. Get more out of your faucet than just water.
When sports cream, when arms are sore, when legs ache, when muscles hurt. Why sports cream? Massaging sports cream in brings fast pain relief. No medicine-y smell, no odor. Why sports cream? Because it works.
Monroe Sensitrack, road sensing shocks and struts. Designed to give you extra control during a swerve. Extra control over rough roads. Monroe Sensitrack gives you both extra control and ride comfort automatically. Monroe Sensitrack, like 2 shocks in 1. Call 1-800-STRUT now for a Monroe Sensitrack dealer near you.
Just imagine, you're standing around with 9 of your closest friends, and death appears and heads straight at you. You can't run, you can't hide, and then, hey! Boy, am I glad I'm not a pin.
Bowling, Tuesdays on ESPN.